Let me welcome you to the Smokebox. Windows up, couple in rotation. I boxed out about 3 or 4 faces.
Welcome to another edition of the BREALTV Smokebox. I'm Dr Greenthumb here with Jelly Roll and Lil Wyte.
Fucking shit.
About to set it off. We got some key lime right here rolled up in these bitches right here. You know what I'm saying?
Funkies.
On some funky field tips, you see it? So, Jelly Roll, man. Last time I saw you, we was on tour. We was rocking it.
Dude, thank you so much for that. What a fucking experience, dog. 25 years of Cypress Hill and my fat ass was fucking shaking at first. That's awesome.
You were killing it. I mean, I saw the feedback. You know, a lot of people were definitely fucking with you. You know what I mean? Like, you could always tell, like, you know, if the headliner shouts out the name of the support,
right? You
know, by the roar of the crowd, how well they did. Because, you know, you'll get the you know, like the obligatory, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But if you really rocked it, the motherfuckers give a nice cheer up roar type of shit. And, you know, every time we mentioned y'all definitely got that, man.
Thank you, man. It was a legendary experience. I know y'all are gonna be doing the West Coast soon, and we just like to throw our name in the hat to come back, baby. You know what I'm saying? First, you feel me, White? No, literally, man. We toured with a lot of people, so I don't want this to be disrespectful to the acts that we've toured with, but it was literally like one of the funnest tours of our whole life, bro. Like, y'all's whole crew is like the coolest motherfuckers ever, like super OG.
We try to
even down to the suits that were on the fucking tour bus with y'all were fucking cool. You know what I'm saying? I was like, this is fucking awesome.
We try to keep it light, you know. But the one thing that the thing that I noticed about y'all's show and how y'all get down, and it's very seasoned. You know, like a lot of work goes into it. I could tell because your band was trunk tight. The way you were setting it off, you know, it just all seemed like a good chemistry, and I know that takes time to build.
No, I was blessed, man. I've had my DJ for 5 years now. We've been a full band with a drummer and guitar player with us for like 2.5, so it's been. And dude, we just tour, man. I took the rock and roll approach to touring and the hip hop approach to releasing music.
Right.
So like we give away a lot of fucking
nice
music.
Combo.
Mm-hmm. But we tour like a rock band. I told you when I first met you, like even the band idea was based on how y'all broke through the Lollapalooza circuit in the early career of how y'all made y'allself more than just a hip hop act. Y'all were hip hop as fuck though. You know what I'm saying? Like period. It was always hip hop with y'all. But it always had this rock feel. And I watched y'all break through the rock culture as a kid, you know what I mean? So I was like, yo, when I get there, that's the kind of shit I want to do.
So what were your two influences in hip-hop and rock?
I was influenced by like real southern hip-hop music. Like essentially, my core was like 3-6 Mafia.
3-6, yeah.
8 Ball and MJG, UGK, you know, and like even into the Chameleonaire Paul Wall early era. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then rock, we were actually really exposed through my sister to like super West Coast rock and all kind of different rock. Like we were like my sister played nothing but like Sublime shit. She's the one who I had a brother that turned me on to all the southern hip hop shit, and a sister that turned me on to the Cypress Hill shit and the fucking Sublime shit. You know what I'm saying?
So you was listening to a little bit of everything.
Oh yeah, then Baba was playing oldies in the kitchen.
You intend to make any albums that are that fusion, or you like keeping it separate like that?
I feel like they're all kind of that fusion now.
Yeah.
I feel like it's getting kind of like almost fucking out of hand with me. But we're just having a good time making music, you know what I'm saying? Like we're just having a blast, dude, so fuck, why not?
So you and White got some new shit going on together, right?
We do. This weed is so fucking good, buddy.
No Filter 2, baby.
No Filter 2, man.
Follow up to No Filter 1.
We did No Filter 1 3 years ago, independently. It did really well and
toured, killed it.
I'll also say that whenever I first got out of like jail, White was the only person that was fucking with me in my region. Like I was like reaching out to everybody, like, man, somebody please, I don't want to sell drugs again. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was like not the route I wanted to go. Like I tell the story humbly, like I got out of jail in 2009, and I spent most of 2009 carrying Lil Wyte's bags and like hype manning his shows.
Word.
But it was a gig that wasn't selling crack. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, well, this is the job, baby, let's go. You know what I'm saying?
It was legitimate. You know what I'm saying?
It was platforming too. It was stepping stones for both of us.
Did you saw the talent in him in the possibilities early. Yeah.
I saw the Talent Jelly before he got locked up and incarcerated, and when he came home, you know, I was actually hoping that he came out harder, and he did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He came out killing it. Like, me and Jelly have known each other since what, like 06, 05, something like that.
Word up.
There?
We've been holding each other down for a while. Like,
it took us that long to get to the West Coast, be real.
hey, but that's all right.
Hey, but we made it, baby.
You made it.
We
right here.
With Be Real, bro.
So-
At the Smokebox.
So what can people expect on this new joint?
Chaos. It's a little bit of everything.
Dirty rock and roll debauchery. Yo, listen, we got this record called Smoking Song. White had a big song in 2000. That's why I think it's so cool. When did you drop the record that had the Smoking Song on the White? When 3 6 Mafia was in their peak in 03, they produced a record. Not their peak. They've had so many peaks. That's disrespectful. Like to say you're in your peak now or have ever been before. But when they were prime 3 6 shit, they produced a record on White and it was called Smoking Song, but it was super Memphis. So on this album, like 13 years later, I think our first single's called Smoking Song, but it's like the super trippier version to that.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I shouted you out big on it. We're going to get a cameo from you while we're here today.
Yeah.
It's huge, dog. It's a big record.
Word up.
Everything's pretty much, we took the same recipe from the first album and just amped it up, and a lot more live instruments.
Yeah.
Touch a bunch of topics and content and just spit on the lyrics, you know what I'm saying? Just kill it.
Hell yeah.
Jelly can sing his ass off.
Jelly can sing. I heard it.
I was one of the first motherfuckers that said,
I'm
go,
blushing.
Bubba.
I'm blushing. Y'all quit lying to me. Sound like when that girl told me I had a big dick.
So what kind of content like are you touching on this one? Because I mean, there's a lot of shit going on. You know what I mean?
We touch on it all. I feel like one of the things that makes people really like me or really not is the fact that like our music's so everywhere. You know, like from pain records. Like I describe the sound of music I make as sex, drugs, and pain.
And we don't give a fuck. I mean, we say what they want to hear.
It's a lot of sex, drugs, and pain.
Shit, everybody could relate to that.
Yeah, right. Everybody's had an equal amount of all of them, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Some more than fucking others in each area.
Word up. In who do you got producing? Who did the production work on this? Or did y'all did it in house?
Yeah, it's all in house.
All in house.
T Stoner's the anchor of what we do.
Phil,
yeah, him and our guitar player, Cousin Phil.
Yeah, like
the same guys I tour with. It's crazy. It's like I think you'll really appreciate this on some like artist shit. Everybody you see me tour with is who we record with. Like my drummer comes in and does all our live drumming. Besides, you didn't meet our producer, like our in-house guy, but everything down to creative is done with the same guys that we tour, 200 days a year with.
See, I fuck with that because that gives you like it's continuity. When you hear an album, it sounds like it's it's one piece. Like it's not a bunch of just a bunch of songs thrown together. Because sometimes when you use like too many producers and you don't really have a sound.
The album's all over the place.
Yeah, it's just albums all over the fucking place. But like when there's continuity, it sounds cohesive.
Right.
And you have a sound, so when that shit comes on, you can identify with it. Oh, that's so and so.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that's key right there. The fact that y'all are doing that's gonna resonate. I think, in my opinion. I mean, it sounded like it watching you guys live.
Yeah, that's how we felt when we, just look, man. I tell people all the time, we didn't reinvent the wheel over here. We just got a pretty cool wheel. You know what I mean? So it's like, we just watched like fucking y'all, a little bit of Rage Against the Machine, watched a little bit of, and just kind of seen the land. And I was like, I knew I always wanted to I want, like, even now, like, I want to add a key player, like the way y'all did Cypress Hill. Like,
you want to keep, like, just evolving and adding different shit.
And making this a real brand. I want Jelly Roll to be bigger than Jelly Roll one day. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be able to step away. Like, I hate that my name's even so tagged to it. Like, I might do some Prophet to Rage shit early in the game and just start me a sub band now. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, start me a side project right now, some shit that can live on outside of y'all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that shit's so dope.
I mean, that's the thing about this day and age in music is, before you had to focus on one thing and that was your shit. Now you can branch off and do a few different things. There's nothing holding you to the one You know what I'm saying? So if you wanted to have your main band and then you have another band and then some other shit, there, you know, record companies can't stop you from doing that shit now unless you got one of them fucked up contracts.
Right.
These days, you know, independents can do whatever the fuck they want, and that's the cool thing about it.
How did y'all approach it whenever y'all first started really breaking into like the rock scene and y'all were doing all these different things that you knew was like completely out of your element, like y'all were the outcasts, y'all were the outlaws of that? How did y'all own that space and deal with it?
We didn't give a fuck.
That's fucking awesome.
We didn't care what people thought. We thought as long as we can live with it, if we can catch sleep and fucking live with it and feel good about it at the end, no matter what anybody else thought, it meant everything to us like that, because, you know, your name goes out there forever. You know, music is forever. You can't erase it. You can avoid it all you want, but you can't, you know, you can't stop other people from avoiding it. So whatever you put out there, you got to be cool with, you know what I mean?
Right.
So that when we did that shit, that was one of those mentalities we had, you know. And I think when you do music, period, whether you do what people think music should be or out of the box shit, I believe this is the mentality you gotta have. As long as you could live with it in the end artistically, as a fan of yourself, like if you peeled yourself outside, right? If you could live with it, all good, no matter what anybody thinks. Fortunately, there was people who dug what we did with that shit. And, you know, it's just, you know, it's an artist gamble. You know, we live the Vegas lifestyle. Every album we put out is a gamble.
Right, every song, every leak. Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's so much pressure.
You could win or lose. You could win it all or lose, you know.
I think we just always was not afraid to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
We're not afraid to regroup.
You can't be afraid to lose.
Yeah.
You gotta not give a fuck and can't be afraid to lose and, you know, ready to go back and hit it again, because that's the life of an artist.
Right.
You can't always hit home runs.
Right.
You know, you could get a good streak of them.
Right, good shit, right?
But sometimes
I pray we're on the beginning of a streak now with no filter too. Good damn it.
Nah, y'all are on a good run, man, and it seems to keep progressing, man. And you know, that's a testament to your grind and the type of shit you're putting out too, you know?
Right.
Just feel good shit and catchy and people can sing with it. That's all you can ask for in a fucking song, man.
We have a good fucking time too, man. I feel like we really inherit the fucking rock and roll spirit. You know what I'm saying? You seen us on tour, and we enjoy ourselves.
Hey, you singing and rapping, so you know you got both worlds right there.
Oh man, we just.
When we get up here together too, it's a whole different chemistry with that same machine right there.
Yeah, we're polar opposites in personality too. Lil Wyte is like, he's an up guy, I'm a down guy. I smoke weed and might drink a little something. You know what I'm saying? Lil Wyte's like, I'll do. And he came to Vegas and said, hey man, don't just bring me no weed, man. I'm a grown man. I need grown man drugs. That's what he texted me when he got off the plane. You know what I'm saying?
He's that up.
Yeah. He just we're so funny.
Plenty of weed.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
and that's something else I want to talk about in this car, bro. Like, look, Big Bubba. They think because the Southerners, I feel like we don't get the respect we deserve in the weed culture because we're from the South.
Yeah, there's a lot of good weed in the South. Kentucky grows some good weed over there.
Right.
You know, they do it low key.
It's a big state for it, though, yeah. We call it cave weed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I swear. We call it cave weed.
It's getting better everywhere. Motherfuckers have stepped their game up. And, you know, the South is you know, just like music. The music scene over there evolved and stepped it way the fuck up. And it's happening with the weed because they've been involved in the struggle for the freedom fight, which is cannabis legalization down there forever. So, you know, I know Atlanta holds their rallies every year. I can't remember what it's called right now, but it's like one of those things. They're constantly petitioning for legalization there in the same type of law. So, you know, people I know there's a big demand for weed out there. So the growers out there, they know they got to step their game up, because when people from over there come to Cali, they're like, I want that shit.
Right.
So whoever meets the demand, right?
That's real.
The South.
I just know that we can smoke with them. You know, I just feel like the Southern smoke, they think because we're from the South, we can't blow. That's why I said in the song, I just toured the country with Be Real from Cypress Hill for real. Like, I can blow, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll smoke.
Right. So
we'll smoke with a guy from Oregon, Amsterdam, or New York.
So since you've been in Cali, this is always the last question in the Smokebox, or 1 and 2 question, whatever. But what's your favorite strain now that you've been in Cali? What's the favorite shit you like to smoke out here, if you can remember? what the name was.
I think we were just smoking some jet fuel with y'all, right?
Yeah.
That shit was absolutely incredible. We got a bag of that when we first got here. And when we got here, somebody gave me a bag of raspberry.
Ooh.
And it was like a really, really, really strong, it felt like a sativa. And it was incredible. It was some of the prettiest weed we smoked ever.
So you like sativas?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm kind of a chill guy. I'll take his Xanax if I want to go down too much. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem talking.
I mean, what did we just smoke? That's the question.
It's a new strain called the key lime. That's not
key lime is my new favorite weed.
Oh, there you go. Key lime by Dr. Greenthumb. Hello.
Can we get some of that for the road? Can we get a doobie of that for the Ruzy?
Might have to give you a couple nuggets for that.
Woo,
you know
baby, woo, baby, woo.
I was going down the list of what I really thought was my favorite, and I was like, yeah, I really, really like this shit right here.
This is probably the coolest interview I've ever done in my life.
By far.
We got some game.
We try, man.
Hey, listen, y'all, I feel like everybody should. First of all, shout out to Burner. I ain't met you yet, but I feel like we're kindred spirits. I feel like I'm the southern version of your big self. I feel like we should reach out to each other.
He's in town too.
I know, man. You gotta link the puzzle. I know it's gonna be crazy to him. Like, yo, this is fat rapper from the south, but he fucking y'all are like twins.
I'll tell him.
Like, I looked into his store. I feel like we came up kind of the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm into it. I feel like once he be like, oh, I get it. You're a little more energetic to me, but I'm into it.
Shout out to Burnzilla. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Word up, man. We want to thank you for taking the time to jump in the box.
Love, brother.
Where can they get the album when it drops?
September.
Everywhere.
Word up.
Oh yeah, just the internet. It'll be around.
Internet, Jelly Roll, Lil Wyte. You know what I'm saying? Go look for that shit.
Just take the time to look us up. No Filter 2.
No Filter 2.
Just take the time to look up Jelly Roll and Lil Wyte. We know this touches a lot of people on the West, but we are. That's why I got to tour with y'all out here, man. We're thin out here. I don't know the fat man on the West Coast yet.
That's what's up. We got to make that happen, man.
Yeah, baby.
Leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. Fuck with BREALTV. Fuck with Jelly Roll and Lil Wyte. I'm high right now.
And these funky field tips, baby.
Yeah, man.
Let me welcome you to the Smokebox. Windows up, couple in rotation. I boxed out about 3 or 4 faces.